Tuesday panel would never have been able to materialize if it wasn't for our panelists. So maraming salamat muli. And if you have questions for them, I suggest that you email us at kababayan@la18.tv. Makakarating po yan, sigurado po yan. Alright, maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat. And once again, panoorin po natin Know History, Know Self with Professor Brandon Reilly.
One of the strange ironies of our globalized world today is that preparing for one of the most lucrative jobs in the Philippines involves studying well, not Filipino, but American culture. Today, the Philippines is one of the major centers for service industry work like call center customer support. It is especially important for the American economy. Call center workers make roughly $700 per month, which is roughly double physician salaries in the Philippines. Not med school, nor law school, nor graduate school of any kind is required for this work. All one needs to know is American culture, which one can encounter all over the Philippines. Americanization is a process that takes place for Filipinos in places far beyond the territorial U.S. Rooted in the colonial relationship that began over a century ago, it continues up to the present. It shapes politics, economics, and culture in the global Philippines. In some sense, the Philippines isn't unique. America is the world's largest military superpower, a status that has enjoyed since 1945. Besides being a democracy, in other words, it is an empire with dozens of military bases across more than 100 nations, such as, for instance, the Philippines. It is also the greatest exporter of its own cultural products. People all across the globe watch American movies and TV shows. They occasionally read its newspapers and novels. One major consequence of this is that it is more difficult for other countries to produce their own cultural products, and the industries that create them have difficulty in thriving. Thus, in ways we don't often see when viewing things from within the empire, the U.S. militarily and culturally dominates most of the world. The Philippines offers but one example of how this takes place. One of America's inventions, designed in part to reinforce its global status, has actually worked to reinforce Filipino culture. The Internet. Just as Filipinos in the U.S. and elsewhere take to the streets, the workplace, and the classroom to enact political change, so too have they traveled to the World Wide Web. More than any other communications media, digital technology in the form of smartphones, social networking sites, video viewing sites, and much, much more, has fostered a strengthening and constant recreation of Filipino culture, one unlike anything before in our history. Like that other famous locomotive technology born of American militarism, the Jeep, the Internet was designed with certain uses in mind. But global Filipinos have reappropriated it for their own purposes, and in the process made it usable for greater numbers of families and friends, integrated it more basically into their daily lives across continents, and just tagged it up and made it better to look at. Maybe Internet is 21st century Taglish for jeepney.